From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Friday, January 11th, a Newcastle teen is charged with killing a sheriff's deputy in Kentucky. Ongoing debate over manufactured housing rights in Delaware. And a local company is using plants to make vaccines. Here are the details. A teenager from Newcastle has been charged with murder after police say he rammed a deputy's car in Kentucky, killing the deputy. State police in Kentucky say the 17-year-old and a 16-year-old from Chester County drove off from a gas station without paying. Police gave chase. The 31-year-old deputy was in his parked car when they say the teen intentionally crashed into the cruiser. Police have not released the names of the suspects because of their ages. Delaware State Police investigating two fights at Mount Pleasant High School just outside Wilmington. The first happened yesterday morning around 11:30 near the cafeteria. The second started shortly after that in the cafeteria. No one was hurt, but 5 students were arrested. Troopers have been interviewing witnesses and reviewing surveillance video. The incidents follow a large fight at Mount Pleasant last November in which charges were filed against 14 students. Residents of 4 Brandywine 100 developments say identity thieves have been stealing mail from curbside mailboxes to get information from checks. Eden Ridge 1, 2, and 3 and Tavistock have all been hit since November. One resident says the same woman, Cynthia Jarman, used 3 bogus checks to get cash from her bank. County Police and Postal Service are investigating. Coming up, mixed news from the latest crime stats in Wilmington. WDEL News continues in a moment.
As you look for your college experience, make sure you look at Wilmington College, your key to success.
Mayor Baker's administration has released unofficial crime statistics for 2007 for Wilmington. The numbers show the city's overall crime rate dropped by 2% compared to the previous year. The murder rate fell by 30%. In raw numbers, there were 14 murders last year, down from 20 in 2006. Assaults, rapes, and thefts also declined in the city, but burglaries and robberies increased. Newark police are warning you to be on the lookout for the latest crime trend, copper theft. Police say 9 copper thefts have been reported in Newark over a 2-month period, mostly downspouts from houses. The trend is driven by high prices copper is now commanding in the metal market. State lawmakers planned to address 2 bills in the fairness in manufactured housing yesterday, but did not take any action. WDEL legislative correspondent Carl Konefsky reports from Dover.
State Representative Bob Valahura, chair of the subcommittee on manufactured housing, will bring landowners and tenants to the table in an attempt to hammer out a compromise, something he says they can't do without help.
When we had solutions brought to the tables when I or my predecessor, Representative Donner Stone, got involved directly in the negotiations of these things. Where this fell apart was last year when promises to me were broken.
Valahura says he was told a bill regulating rate increases wasn't in play and that language regarding the right of first refusal for tenants would be run by him. Instead, both were introduced as legislation. Valahura says reaching a compromise is in everyone's best interest.
There has to be a balance in manufactured housing. We have to have a viable community of manufactured housing in this state. And if the balance tips one way or the other, you will lose this valuable housing asset in the state.
With 3 Sussex County communities set to go up for sale, legislators hope a compromise can be reached quickly, but Valahura expects a series of meetings in order to get it done. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konefsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Well, saying some students learn better in same-sex classrooms, State Representative Debbie Hudson will introduce a bill for same-gender charter schools. The Greenville Republican says federal law allows for the schools, so Delaware shouldn't keep the opportunity from students who could benefit from a single-gender environment. The legislation comes after the State Department of Education decided to withhold federal money from Prestige Academy, a boys-only charter school, saying its single-gender policy violates state law. Though it's not cold enough for an ice storm, one state lawmaker wants to make sure neighborhoods can handle the expense of cleaning up after one. State Representative Brian Short introduced legislation to provide financial relief to civic associations impacted by those storms. The Claymont Democrat says recent ice storms have drained the treasuries of many communities, and the legislation would provide peace of mind in the future. A law is already on the books providing relief after snowstorms. Short's bill would extend the provision to sanding, salting, and plowing associated with ice storms. Well, picture this. You take a compound from one plant and mix it with another and wind up with something that protects from disease. WDEL's Lee St. John reports.
Although it sounds like a job for the tribal medicine man of old, it's really the cutting edge in 21st century research, and it's happening at Fraunhofer Center for Molecular Biotechnology in Newark. Fraunhofer is the only lab in the U.S. currently working on plant-based vaccines to protect against biological warfare agents, and that's what landed the lab a $4 million grant from the Defense Department. Congressman Castle and Senator Carper were on hand Thursday to give the entire Fraunhofer staff a pat on the back, as well as tour the facility. Carper recalled a close encounter he had with a toxic agent.
My first term in the U.S. Senate, one day, our building was evacuated. It was evacuated because enough anthrax was delivered across the hall in Senator Daschle's office to kill 300,000 people.
Castle says making more and better vaccines quicker is what got Fraunhofer noticed.
The benefit of the program is it will hopefully allow these vaccines to be produced faster in the event of a pandemic or a biological weapons attack. That's extraordinarily important because often there's a time of urgency when these things happen, and that's why it's so crucial we continue in this direction.
Vedati Yusupov says that not only can they make the drugs, their process can also be made mobile.
It will gain us independence from stainless steel, hundreds of millions of dollar cost facilities into very mobile, modularized, low-cost production of safe, rapid response vaccines. And it's becoming more and more imminent, and I think we made a great progress.
The plan now is for Fraunhofer to turn the first floor of this building into manufacturing space by next year. Reporting from Newark, Lee St. John, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Road, sweet road for the Flyers. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast for the weekend just ahead.
When it comes to flooring, great style doesn't have to be expensive, especially when you shop at Carpet One Floor & Home. Our 1,000-store buying power gives you the best prices on hardwood, carpet, tile, laminate, and more, including brands you'll find exclusively at Carpet One Floor & Home, like Liz Claiborne Home, Good Housekeeping with Resista, and Lee's, all with guaranteed installation and no payments for 1 year. See how easy it is to find your perfect style. Shop in store, online, or in-home, only at Carpet One Floor & Home.
WDEL Sports, the Flyers spotted the Rangers a 2-0 lead, then roared back for a 6-2 win over New York, wrapping up their 6-game road trip with a 5-1 mark. Scott Hartnell scored 3 times for the Flyers, putting the Flyers up 3-2 in the second period before adding 2 more in the third. Simon Gagne played his first game since November 7th. He scored in the third period. The Flyers play their first home game since December 27th tomorrow afternoon against Boston. 3-point shooting by Drexel sent the Delaware women's basketball team to another loss last night. The Dragons outscored Delaware 24-0 from behind the arc to beat the Blue Hens 66-62. That snaps an 18-game losing streak to the Blue Hens. Senior forward Courtney Irving scored a career-high 18 points and grabbed 7 rebounds to lead Delaware. The Hens, though, now 2-12 on the season, 1-1 in the conference. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast. Some fog and drizzle to start today, then cloudy, a couple of showers, a high near 60. Clearing tonight, a low 33. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 50. Sunday, mostly cloudy, and a high 46. And get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 11:50 a.m. And get WDEL News text alerts sent right to your cell phone. Sign up here at WDEL.com. I'm Chris Carl. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.